2026 midterms, new Fox News polling revealing which party's more trusted to handle the biggest issues for voters. And here we go. Democrats leading on the key issue of affordability along with health care and vaccines. Republicans, on the other hand, coming out on top when it comes to border security, national security, as well as immigration.
Fox News is having a meltdown like on air right now. And I need to show you this because it's kind of amazing to watch. The polls just came out. Trump's numbers are bad. We're talking midterm disaster territory. Approval ratings that are, wait, let me say this correctly, among the lowest in presidential history. People hate him right now, and it's getting worse. So Fox has a problem. How do you cover news when the news is terrible for your guy? First move, Laura Ingraham. She comes on and basically goes, yeah, the numbers are bad, but haven't we heard this before? Let's talk about something else. Just change the subject. That's the plan, what Laura does here. Done it. He's done it this time. He's finished. He's on the ropes. The polls are turning against him. All right. We've seen this all before, and then because it wouldn't be Fox without this.
Yeah, this poll is really revealing. It shows that the administration is fulfilling its promises, especially when it comes to the border. We have the most secure border in history as we speak. It is concerning that people are leaning towards Democrats when it comes to affordability, because it seems like the messaging is off. If you look at what this administration has accomplished in the past year.
Jesse Waters and Caroline Sunshine start complaining about Michelle Obama. It's so predictable at this point. Every night, find a way to bring up the Obamas. Michelle was on a podcast talking about her experiences, and they're like, why is she complaining? Her husband was president twice. He's a black man who got elected. What's the problem? As if personal success means systemic issues don't exist. Those are two different things, but whatever. Here's the clip.
Michelle has a Netflix special with Oprah, and when Oprah taps you, that means it's your time. The Obamas know that. It was Oprah who was the first big name to support Barry's run for the White House. So what does this mean? Well, for one, it means Michelle has another book, and she wants the world to know it's her world now, that she, not Barack, is the real star.
Laura Ingraham announces breaking news. Trump is suing the IRS for $10 billion. His claim the tax return leak from years ago damaged his reputation and caused him emotional distress. So let me walk through what's happening here. Trump is the president. The president runs the executive branch. The Treasury Department is part of the executive branch. The IRS is under Treasury. So Trump's administration is suing itself and forcing American taxpayers to potentially pay Trump $10 billion. Scott Bessent runs Treasury. He works for Trump. And now he's supposed to oversee paying Trump billions of taxpayer money. The logic here is, it's insane, right? Here's the announcement.
And moments ago on the red carpet for the premiere of Melania's new movie, he dropped this bombshell.
Dave, will you be announcing your Fed chair pick next week?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Oh.
And do you know who you
Fed chair
picked?
tomorrow? I do.
What is that?
Otherwise, I'll have to go to work very quickly. No, I'll be announcing the Fed chair tomorrow morning.
Wow.
So after that bombshell, Fox needs to change the subject fast, and they do something incredible. They start talking about Sydney Sweeney. No, seriously, they're literally discussing this actress and her look. They're talking about her body on a news channel during a political crisis. This is the distraction. Don't look at the $10 billion lawsuit. Don't look at the journalists being targeted. Don't think about ICE raids happening across the country. Don't worry about inflation or the economy or the fact that people can't afford rent right now. Just Sydney Sweeney. That'll fix it, and then, wait for it, they compare her to Melania Trump. Because, of course, they do. The logic is, she doesn't talk about politics. She's unbothered. She reminds us of Melania. I don't even know what that means, but okay, let me show you this. It's wild.
Sydney Sweeney has huge potential to make millions of dollars off of this very smart strategy to not alienate half the country either way by being vocal about her political belief. No, she is not going to play that game. She reminds me so much of Melania Trump, who's just the most unbothered first lady I've ever met.
All right. So then Sean Hannity brings on Seth Moulton, congressman, Marine veteran, guy who does not mess around. And Hannity clearly thought this was going to go one way, like, I'm going to destroy this Democrat on immigration, except Moulton starts winning badly. So you know what Fox does? They start playing music over the interview. I'm not joking. Moulton is making points. Hannity's losing control, and the production team just plays music to drown him out, and they just keep doing it the entire segment. Moulton's talking, making actual points, and there's just music playing the whole time. Hannity's one of their top guys, and he's getting destroyed on his own show. So the solution is cover it up with a soundtrack. This is not normal television. This doesn't happen. Watch how ridiculous this gets.
That did put himself in harm's way. I would think you might have a little more insight than you're showing here. In other words, don't you think the 99% of soldiers that you fought with were good people that were risking their lives for a cause that their government believed in, right or wrong? Don't you think the 99% of ICE agents that are arresting the worst of the worst?
Then Fox tries this interesting spin on the economy. Someone comes on and uses a home renovation metaphor. Sometimes you got to tear down your house before you rebuild it. Year one was demolition. Year two is reconstruction. Okay, but two problems. One, Trump said everything would be better day one. That was the promise, not give me a few years to demolish everything first. And two, most people watching can't even afford rent right now, let alone own a home to renovate. The metaphor doesn't work when your audience is barely surviving. You're talking about home improvement to people who are getting evicted. So Hannity's trying to flip the script now. He's like, you're the one inciting people. You're causing division. And Moulton just doesn't take it. He's a Marine. He knows what accountability looks like. He points out that if an 18-year-old private did what these ICE officers did, they'd face court-martial. That's military justice. That's the standard. Then Moulton does something brilliant. He asks Hannity, wait, let me get this right. Are you saying the protesters in Iran are responsible for the regime killing them? Because that's your logic here. Like you're blaming people for the violent response to their actions. Is that what you're doing? It's a perfect comparison, and Hannity has no answer for it. Earlier in the day, Fox had on Linda McMahon. Quick background, she's a billionaire, married into the WWE fortune. Now, she's running the Small Business Administration, and she comes on and makes this claim that Biden administration programs discriminated against white business owners. That's her focus as the head of small business, white discrimination. She also talks about fraud investigations, pandemic relief money being stolen, specifically mentioning Somali networks in Minnesota. These are serious allegations that honestly need a lot of fact-checking and context, but here's what she said. Certain programs had never been audited, like the AA Socially and Economically Disadvantaged program that discriminated against white business owners in their entirety for 50 years. So we set out to do a 15-year look-back audit. We suspended 1,000 people who didn't participate in the submission of financial forms. And then up in Minnesota, obviously, we were all horrified when it was revealed how much fraud in the Somali network was going on. We went back during PPP. We'd seen $430 million of fraud. Thousands of borrowers had defrauded the federal government during that time, stealing funds from small businesses. So we're going to go state by state and looking back because the Biden administration kicked all that waste, fraud, and abuse under the rug, and we're going after it in multiple programs. Next up, Lindsey Graham shows up on Hannity. Context, Graham was just on the Senate floor threatening to shut down the government. Why? Because Jack Smith's investigation subpoenaed phone records, and Graham's number was in there from January 6th. He was talking to Trump during the insurrection. Anyway, he comes on Hannity, and look, his words are kind of unclear here. You can judge for yourself. Watch this. And the world is now pulling the rug out from under the U.S. The dollar's going to collapse. The dollar is going to be replaced by gold. Central banks are buying gold to back up their currencies. They're getting rid of dollars. They're getting rid of treasuries. We are headed for an economic crisis again that will make the 2008 financial crisis look like a Sunday school picnic. The biggest difference between the crisis that we're about to have and the one we had back then is this one is all in America. It's not going to be exported to the rest of the world. It's not a global financial crisis. It's an American. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Fox's own guests are warning about economic collapse, comparing what's coming to 2008, talking about the dollar falling apart, and the network's response is Sydney Sweeney music over interviews they're losing. It's collapse in real time. and they're trying to distract from it while it happens. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. And hey, thank you for being here. We just hit 50,000 subscribers on the Public Affairs Media, which is absolutely wild. None of this works without you. So, seriously, thank you. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's a good time. We're just getting started. All right, see you in the next